Hi everybody, my name is Shannon. Welcome to my channel, Another Yarn. Thank you so much for joining me today. I greatly appreciate it. It's time for my Monday video. Oh my goodness. Monday is the day that I generally show all the projects that I have worked on throughout the week, whether I finished any. My goal is trying to get 2 a week. Yeah, I'm not doing it. No, I'm not. And it doesn't matter what size, right? And it's like, well, I could have been working on it for a full year and I just finished this week, right? That kind of thing counts. But yeah, I didn't do that. This last week, if you were not aware, has just been so much between last Monday's video, which was actually an Aberdeen Wool's mystery yarn bag because I was at a retreat. But between that and now, we've had so many great and wonderful things happening in our life. And it's just, the week feels like a month. It's kind of crazy how that works. And I've really been concentrating on doing lace stuff, actual lace with lace yarn, that little bitty tiny stuff, using size 0 needles. Wow, if you don't need reading glasses, you might after this. So I've been doing a lot of that because I went to that lace retreat. Anytime you do something like that, I've never been to a retreat before, by the way, but anytime you do something fun like that, out of the norm, out of the ordinary, you want to practice. You want to really delve deep into it. So I've done that. So then I was thinking, well, what did I work on the last week? Because again, my last Monday video was an Aberdeen Wool mystery yarn bag, which has a giveaway attached to it. So yeah, if you haven't already looked at that and everything, go check out last Monday's also. Watch this one too, but go check out last Monday's and everything and go ahead and enter. I mean, you might as well. It's a chance at a $25 Aberdeen Wool gift card. Go for it. So I don't remember everything I was working on a couple weeks ago because I've also stopped writing in my notebook, which is supposed to give me clues and helpful hints. But again, this last week is like a month all squished together. And we're like, no, that was just yesterday. Nuh-uh. If you're not aware, my daughter-in-law, the baby, was born. Noah is with us, and what a blessing he is. He is just under 3.5 pounds, so he is not back to his birth weight yet, but he is gaining some weight, which is wonderful, and he's perfect. He is absolutely perfect. He's not been on oxygen, except for I think like the first 48 hours, if that long. He just needs to, I don't know, evidently babies don't start to get that sucking reflex until around the 34 weeks of gestation. And he just hit that point if he was like still in the belly, which he's not. So they're working on all that stuff and trying to teach bottle feeding and everything. I mean, she's nursing, but with preemie babies, yeah, you're just trying to get them, you don't want them fighting. That's a weird way to put it. But anyway, that happened, which was amazing. What a miracle. What a blessing. So I've been up to the hospital, and then we've had grandkids here. A lot. The entire week we've had grandkids. I think there might have been one day where we didn't see grandkids. Matter of fact, if you hear Scooby-Doo in the background, that's the grandkids. I don't generally watch Scooby-Doo. I used to as a kid, but not anymore. Anyway, if you hear a little more thumping and you're not used to that, that's what that is. We've got 3 grandkids over right now. I mean, they've been here all week, just like in and out, in and out. We've had them overnight. We've had them later. It has been exhausting in such a wonderful, blessed, good way. And yeah, so it's like, all right, it's daylight. I know I have work in the morning, all that stuff, right? That adulting that takes us away from our crafting. Yes, there's that thing. That thing will happen in the morning. So I wanted to go ahead and get the video maybe a little bit sooner. Go ahead and try to round up what I've made or not made. And then I realized, yeah, it's the lace. But what was I working on beforehand? And I've talked about it, and I did do some differences, and I will show the lace too because I progressed. I had to pull that thing out one stitch at a time, not gonna lie. So on this, let me see if I can get this up. This is my yoke sweater. Last we saw it, I pulled out a lot. I pulled it out to like the first flower. So let me see how much I've gotten on it since, because I know I worked on it. Oh yeah, I pulled it out to like right there, that to that flower. So I've done some additions. I've added some leaves back. I've reduced the increases. Because it was going to be big. I'm not petite, which is fine. We're living your skin and be happy with it, right? So I just made it way too big because I'm not super used to doing the whole yoke construction. I'm learning. And if I actually paid attention, which I don't, and read all the directions, which I don't, and did an actual gauge swatch and did it the way you're supposed to, which I don't, then my stuff would be more towards what the designer did and the designer's intention. But I set myself up for failure, and somehow I think it's better I learned from the school of hard knocks. It just, sometimes it works out wonderfully, other times it doesn't, you know, and there's nothing like a big old error to teach you, and you will remember it a lot more than reading and not knowing why you did something on the pattern. So that is my philosophy. You don't have to follow that. I would advise actually reading the pattern, understanding the pattern, and going through all the directions that they say. Save yourself some heartache, save yourself some pain. Does that mean I'm going to do that next? No. No. I could tell you I am, but come on, let's face it. We know that's not true. But on the other part, I do knit a lot. I just like to knit. I like to knit. I like to crochet. I like to play with yarn. And most of the time, I don't care who it fits, so it doesn't matter 100%. But I wanted this to fit me, and I don't really have in my friend circle. Well, okay, let's face it. You know, I've got you guys, but you know, you're not like sitting next to me in my yarn group. But I don't have a whole bunch of lady friends that it's like, hey, this doesn't fit me. You're smaller. This will fit you. You're bigger. This will fit you. So I would be making it and have no idea where it's going to go. So here is my beautiful. It's an alpine bloom is the pattern, but I've kind of cobbled together multiple patterns for this. But yeah, I took the lace chart from, or the colorwork chart from one of the alpine bloom hats, and I'm trying to do it with that. And I think I am just a couple rows now, and I will start to work even a little bit, do whatever. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't remember. It's been a week. I haven't touched it. And then break off for the arms. I do know that I reduced down significantly. I had like 306 stitches, and had my gauge been what it said, I don't know what it is, then that would have worked for me. Well, it still would have been bigger. It would have been, they say on this sweater to do 8 inches of positive ease. That's, I don't need an extra 8 inches of fabric around me. I'm big as it is, right? I mean, I'm not petite, okay? I'm not saying I'm the big, well, you know what I'm getting at. But I don't want an extra 8 inches, because to me that's going to make me look larger than I am. And not many women want to look larger than they are. Where I think that works the best is if you're already a smaller woman or a petite woman. You can do the big bulky. You can do the oversized, and it looks good. It does. It looks really great. But when somebody who's already, I'm already an XL, okay? You know, to do that and then add an extra 8 inches, like, I don't think I need to do that. And that's what this was going to be. It was going to be 50 plus inches. I didn't need something that large, and emphasis on the plus, because boy, once I got that circle done and I started going straight with the black, there's a lot. There was some rippling going on. There was so much fabric. There was no amount of decreasing that was going to help for that. So I am back on the straight and narrow. I am really happy that before I left on my trip, not only did I rip back to here, I didn't just leave it. I didn't just go, I did it, which is good, because then it's set up to actually progress, as opposed to just throwing it in the corner going, oh, I need to fix it later, and not getting around to it. That's kind of what my Tackle It Tuesday series is, not gonna lie. That's a lot of the stuff that I just didn't get around to, and it's well over 3 years old. That's the projects that I'm grabbing. Surprisingly, I'm actually wanting to finish them. Whoa, crazy talk. So this is one, and I'm still excited about it. And it's really interesting because I've been working with lace, and this is, you know, worsted weight. Abby's like, that's big. Yeah, it's fluffy, fuzzy, but it's just a worsted weight yarn. And I think it's on, I don't know. So these are not my 8s, because my 8s are downstairs. This is 6s. So I'm working on 6s. So yeah, that's not a bad one. I should add that into my other stuff and try to pick up something besides my lace. So that is this. And I wanted to show a little bit of progress, because the last you saw it, it was really sad. It had gotten down to there. And I had all the leaves done. It was big and it was beautiful. And maybe I'll add a picture, maybe not. I don't know. It's gorgeous, stunning. It was a little sad. I did do a video on that where I showed ripping it out. And I was going to rip that out 1 stitch at a time, but with the fuzzy nature of it, it was really kind of annoying. So I threw caution to wind. I had did an after the fact lifeline, used a smaller knitting needle, and kind of wove it in all the way to where I thought the row was. And for the most part, I got it. I was pretty consistent. So on the last round, when I was just ripping it all out, there were some stitches that got caught. So it because they were from, you know, different round. And I was able to correct that. Not an issue. So really, really saved me a lot of time. But it is bigger yarn, bigger needles, and it was easier to see those stitches. I'm not afraid to pick up stitches and do something like that. Where that have difficulty on that is the lace. So I have gotten a lot more on my lace. The last time, look at that. I got to put a paper underneath it. But the last time I had made a mistake, like right here, and I had to pull all the way down to the border. Let me get the paper because you can't see that. That might come out. There we go. Paper. There's my pattern. Yeah, that's the pattern. So on the last one, look at that. I've gotten it. It is so cool. Let me stretch this down because it makes a huge difference. Look at that. Oh, see, now you can see that it's a flower. Now you can see that. There we go. That's gorgeous. So what I had discovered previously, you see the straight line? That's the stem. Well, I did my decreases on the wrong side of the yarn over for the first couple of rows. So my stem was bent. It was like that as opposed to like this. And I would like to take this to Galena when I get partially way done or what have you. I would like to take another class with her. And this is an excuse to just show my work like a kindergartner going, oh, please, please praise me. Or, you know, I'm thinking that lady, if I messed up and that right there, the first couple of rows of the chart would have been really obvious. She would tell me, not in a negative, not in a harsh way, but she would say, yeah, you messed up right here. Yes, yes, I did. You know, so I wanted to fix that because I definitely saw that. So I had to pull all that out. Now this had to be pulled out one stitch at a time. These stitches, that is my pattern. These, I mean, you can see this is a size 0 knitting needle, only like cable. Those stitches are so tiny. Normally like on this, if I'm pulling something out, the stitches are kind of larger and I've got the opportunity with a smaller knitting needle to pick those up. I'm already using a size 0. And if that stitch, that little loop moves at all, it's dropped. So one stitch at a time is what I had to pull it out. I'm really happy because I was just right there, from there to there. I gotta get that paper. You just can't see this. I'm trying to show things. Okay, so I was right here, right? That's about where I was and noticed that that's not working. My little stem is bent. I'm like, So pulled all that back. Would I have pulled it back if it were just for me or something? Maybe not. Would it have been noticed with definitely in blocking? Yes, definitely. But I don't know if I would have pulled it back. But knowing what this project is, and I really want to be proud of it, you know, like a kindergartner at the end of your project kind of a thing, that's where I'm at. I want to be proud of it, and I want it to be something that is a massive accomplishment. And I think we're all like that to an extent. I don't know what your project is that is your massive accomplishment. If you're first learning how to knit or crochet and you just made a washcloth, that is a massive accomplishment right there. That is fantastic because you did it. You got out of your comfort zone and you tried something new. And you might have put lace in it unintentionally, and that's okay. It doesn't matter. You did it. So it doesn't matter where we're at on our journeys. We want to be proud of some of the stuff. I mean, I'll make things, and some things it's like, I don't really care. I'm happy. I'm working on stuff. But there are some wow pieces that I want to really be a wow piece. That's this. And like I said, if you're first starting out, regardless of what it is, you're doing great. You're putting the yarn to use. You're taking the yarn and you're turning it into something. So that's fantastic. But that's where I'm at. I'm taking my yarn. Okay, let's face it. Yes, it's yarn. This is a glorified thread. Is that not? This is like thread on steroids. It's just, it's not much bigger, just saying. It is very tiny in the size 0s. I do have double 0s. I didn't go that route, but enjoying this. Loving the way that stretches. Let me see if I can hold that paper up and get a good stretch on that. Let's see. Look at that. Oh, see? Now you can see what I'm talking about. Yeah, so when you see that right there, and this is just me holding it with my hands, that's the gorgeous miracle of blocking. This is garter stitch, and the whole lace is garter stitch. And garter stitch is inherent in the way that the yarn is knit up, is going to lay flat. It is. It's going to lay a lot flatter. So even with this not blocked, we can see the holes here. We can see the design. Now, if this were at a stockinette stitch, like if it were a Shetland lace, and that's where you have a right side and a wrong side, this one doesn't really have the right side and the wrong side because it is garter stitch. But if you were doing a Shetland lace where you have stockinette on one side and the back side is pearls, that, if I were to do the same kind of a thing, you wouldn't see it. It would just be a scrunched up ball. And that's where people talk about it. If you've ever heard the term blocking, you're like, why? What do I need to do that for? I don't want to block anything. I'm right there with you. I don't block everything. This will be blocked because look at the huge difference. Look at the way those flowers, you're like, that's not a flower. I think you messed up. You should have added some more rows because that doesn't look like a flower at all. I mean, you know, yeah, you got little stems and a weird oval thing. That's not a flower, but you see, add a little bit of stretch to it. That's round. That is that flower. That's like a tumbleweed, right? That's just gorgeous. And there you can see that. Now the rest of what I'm doing for my length, according to the pattern, I'm just about ready to the repeat this until you run out of, close to running out of yarn, want to poke your eyes out, whatever it is, right? We know how that goes. This thing I could probably work on exclusively for the next so many months, and this ball will just be taunting me. It will just taunt me. There are so many yards on this, and if I've said it, I don't know how many times, probably till I'm blue in the face. If you can work with small yarns, not everyone can, right? We all have our preferences too. Like I'm not a crazy for big yarns, right? And you might not be crazy for small yarns. But if you can and you are comfortable with it, it is like the most economical. Even if you paid what you would consider as, are you kidding me? That much for a ball of yarn? Are you crazy? Even if it were that price, the dollar cost average for the hours that it's going to take you to go through this and to enjoy this, it's cheaper than probably most of the yarns that you own. It really is. And you don't think of it that way. You just don't. But, and it just depends on what you like. But if you can't use small yarns or you just don't like them, then it doesn't matter. But if you can and you like it, yeah, you'll make one project a year, maybe two, but that's okay. And it'll be stunning, whatever it is. So that's what I have is this. But I also wanted to, I'm going to stretch this out too. I wanted to show this. I had talked about I'm going to turn these around since they are in a book. Well, actually, this one, I don't know if that one's in a book or not. Galena had given me that pattern. She's like, here, it's one of my designs. I mean, yeah, okay. So, I mean, come out. Come out. And what I also did is, here's my border. Yes, I printed it off. Okay, I'm just turning these opposite directions just in case, because, you know, some TVs can pick up a lot. This is the document protector I just got. And it was like $18 for two of them. Okay, and it, let me see, it folds like this, these little things. So, you know, if you want to throw that in your laptop bag or what have you, that's fine. This clip holds the paper and it can go sides, top, wherever you want that clip to go. And then it's got, I tied the yarn around it, whatever, but it's got this little ruler type thing. And it's fantastic because I'm doing the grid, right? And I can move that up and down and it'll show me where I'm at. Now, I do have one complaint on the ruler. That's why I was trying to tie that yarn around there for. Let me stop. Oh, and it's metal. So my magnets, I do that for the border piece. So I know where I'm at on that. So that's a magnet. So that is my line for the border. So I just put it up over top of here. And then this is for the main chart. What I do have issues with this, okay, it was $18 and I got two of them. I'm not complaining. But just in full disclosure, I'll go ahead and put the link of the Amazon listing for this one. I don't have any affiliation. I'm not getting any money, but if you are interested, there you go. You don't have to go any shopping if you like what I have to say. You know, there you have it. So on this, love the concept. Absolutely love the concept. Can we see? It moves just a little bit. And depending on what you're using it for, it doesn't matter. But I've got those little tiny blocks for my chart. So this end might be where I need it to be and this end not, you know, especially on these blue lines. So it does make a little difference. What I'm going to do is take some glue, you can see the movement, right? I'm going to take some super glue, pop it in there to where it can't move anymore, and it's perfect for what I need. There you go. Absolutely wonderful. So I like this gadget. It's compact. And then I'm not going to do that. but it also oh, you got 7 positions too. I think it's 7. I don't know. So you've got all these different positions that you can put this on if you choose to. You know, whatever your reading angle is. There's nothing fancy on this. There's nothing fancy on this at all. Pretty low, you know, low bells and whistles, but it does what I need it to do. These little doohickey thingies here that hold your paper flat, it says it can hold 150 pages. So if you had, I don't know, a transcript, a manuscript, or something that you're doing, right? So you just pull it out, see? And then push it onto however many papers that you have. So that's kind of cool too, that you can do that. All right. It's not going to have any issues with that. All right. So again, nothing fancy, but it does what I need it to do. It sits where I need it to sit. It does what I need it to do. And I don't have to fold the paper. You're like, it looks like your paper's folded. Yeah, I know. Because while I was waiting for this to come in, I was using the Knit Picks one, and that one, you do have to fold your paper. So there you have it. But that is working out really well for me because I was being very, very stubborn and trying to, pull this out again, trying to follow the graph, yeah, the graph without using a marker and the tape and the what have you. And that was just really not working out well. And then this, the border, you would think that would be easy to memorize. Well, it wasn't. Not for me. We all have our strengths. And what I was doing is I was just being really stubborn and thinking, well, I can read my knitting because in a lot of things I really can. And I can, you know, I know that you got these holes that are going this way and then this way and then this way. You know, I know that. But I was unknitting as much as I was knitting because I was being stubborn. So I broke down. I bought the fancy dancy tool. See what I mean by that? See, that's the magnet that I got from the Knit Picks chart keeper holder thing. But you can buy those bar magnets. You can go on Amazon and get those bar magnets. So I didn't know at the time this was metal. I was hoping because I wanted to be able to use the magnets on it. So for my purposes, it's fantastic. It'll do what I need it to do. And it's just not big. It's not clunky. And there you go. But I told you I was going to show you that. And I was going to tell you about it. And I'll link that if you have a need for one. Cool. I didn't know that that was necessarily the option. I just started searching because I knew I had the Knit Picks one. I didn't know where it was. As soon as I ordered that one, I walked right to the Knit Picks one, which is how that works. And that is totally fine. And I liked the idea of a full page document holder better than that half that I had. So I'm not upset about the purchase at all. That works out quite well for me. And I'm giving one to my friend. And it gives me an excuse to say, hey, it's come in. Come on over whenever you're ready. You know, because that's, you know, coercing more knitting friend time. Yeah, I'm not above it. Not above it at all. I will do it in a heartbeat. So there is that. That's my fun stuff on that. Let's see if I can hold this over. Oh, wait, I think I have an idea. Since I have the white paper, let me set that right here. Since I've got the paper, let me do this. Hold this here. Hold this here. Snap this down. Kind of. There. All right. Ooh, kind of. I was just wondering if I could do this. You know, I've got it snapped down on the clip on the top. Don't damage the lace. There we go. Not really. Not quite what I had in mind. But just to give you more of an idea. So now I've got these done on this side. And I think, did it go up to 3? 1, 2, 3. Okay. So do we see these little four little holes? So the next one, the next section of those, I'm going to have 3 of those wide. And then I'm starting into the repeat that you just do until you're close to running out of yarn, or it's as long as you want it. It'll go from 2 of these, then 3, then 2, then 3, then 2, then 3. And then when I'm ready to be done, then it goes down to the 1 and it reverses from here. So both ends are going to, when it's worn around your neck, you'll have these thistle type things. Yeah, there's that. And I did this where it was border stitch, 1 row of repeat, 28 stitches, and then another border. This pattern is for a stole, right? And I'm not sure the width of it, you know, whatever you want it to be. but I didn't want to take on anything that was too much work, too difficult, too many stitches. That would be something that takes a lot longer. Like this is going to take as it is. This is going to be a while as it is, just because of the fineness of it. But I didn't want anything that was too overly aggressive. That's a good way to put it. I do have another pattern that Galena has written up and she gave me, and it is on like a scroll. I mean, it's just, it's not on an 8.5 by 11. It's like on a scroll type of a thing, and it's big. And I want to make that, and that is a lot more stitches. Okay, here's an example. This one, do you remember I was talking about like the edge, the border edge being teeth? Each one of the little scallops that goes like this, they're called teeth. So I started this one with 8 teeth, and then I did the turning the corners. The one that for the pattern that she gave me, that one I have to do 17 of the teeth. So that gives you an idea. This is 8, and it's going to be however wide it's going to be. I don't know, whatever it stretches to. So if this is the 7 and it'll stretch like that, or this is 8, and then, 17 is going to be at least double, a little bit more. So that to me was very aggressive as a first. This is my first big girl piece with the lace that I wanted to do. Traditional Orenburg lace. That is my first big girl piece. So I didn't want to set myself up for failure on that. And that's why I didn't make this one larger, although you very well could. And then in making that larger, at the bottom, you would have more of those little thistles instead of just having the 2, 3, 4, 5, what have you. And then in the center, it would be more of those little 4 squared holes, more of those all over. And it would just be stunning, absolutely stunning. So I went with the pattern as just the 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. And all the red marks, it's like repeat between in here, right? I didn't do that. And that right there, as an example, this is the repeat between the yellow and the yellow. So if I wanted it bigger, it would be that much bigger if I were to make one more set. And this is going to be gorgeous. This I'm looking at as a scarf, and it'll be just stunning. And if I had added at least one more repeat, I could see that being more like the closer to a rectangle shawl. It would still be thin for a rectangle shawl, but I could see that being along that line. I'm just really proud of this. It's grown. I know it's not super fast, but it's grown. And when I stretch it like that, you can see it's grown. And I'm happy because my stems are straight now. Yeah, because I stretched it before and I'm like, that doesn't look right. What's wrong? My stems weren't straight. Yeah, my holes were in the wrong place. Yeah, that's all lace is. That's all it is well-placed holes. And my holes were not well-placed. They just weren't. So I'm thrilled with that. I hope that you guys are doing something too. Like I said, whatever it happens to be, what your stretch goal is. If you're just starting and you've never picked up yarn, whether that's needles or a hook or crochet hook, you can do Tunisian. It doesn't matter. That one right there, I have not done any large projects in Tunisian either. So if that's your thing, you go for it. It doesn't matter. You're picking up your yarn and you're using it, and you're just jumping out and trying something new and something different. And it's going to be slow. And you're going to look at it going, but I just did like this much. That's okay. You did that much. And that's impressive. That is impressive because you did it. And I'm proud of you. I am so proud that you guys are all on this journey with me. And I have heard people talk about how they're finding some of their old projects and working on them. That's a Herculean effort. Or being comfortable with ripping back when you make a mistake. Trust me, I don't rip back every time. It depends on what the mistake is and where it is. That is 100% it. But sometimes you just really need to, and it's part of the process. And I've heard people comment on this. Well, I just ripped this out. I'm on my second go. Oh, okay, I feel for you. I'm right there with you, but I get it. Sometimes you have to. And I'm proud of all of those steps that you guys are doing and taking this journey, this crafting journey, and learning different things. And then some of you are trying to jump on the lace with me. And I'm so thrilled with that. I really want to hear what you're doing, how you're liking it, and lace doesn't have to be like with the tiny lace yarn. You can pick a lace pattern, use sport weight, and make a beautiful scarf for your coat. You don't have to have as many stitches. You're still doing the lace. It's the same thing with color work. If you're doing color work, do just the flower right there and nothing else, right? That's still a lot, especially when you're first learning. That's a lot. You don't have to do an all over piece, just that little bit, that little motif. Do that, make whatever your scarf is, if that's what you're doing, and just put a little bit of lace in it. It doesn't even have to be a massive amount, but it's a start, it's a taste, and that is wonderful. And I think you can do it. You're gonna love it. You're gonna absolutely love the new dimensions that you can add to everything. Hey, and don't think I'm leaving you crochet people out. I crochet also. You can do crochet with lace. I know that's what I started out with, was tablecloths and doilies and things like that with the steel crochet hook and Aunt Lydia's bedspread thread. So no, you're not left out. We know you can do lace. That's where I got my start. With that, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. You guys have a great day, night, evening, whatever it happens to be. And I will talk to you again later. Bye-bye.